Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. So first up, Dirty Tesla, who is one of the more prominent FSD beta testers on YouTube. Very solid channel. Go check him out if you don't already. But he said 500 miles on the new no radar Model Y so far, and Tesla Vision is impressive. Slowing for stopped and slow cars is very good and gentle. Rain performance is great so far, and lane changes are freaking perfect. I dare say it's better than before. But man, I really need 80 miles per hour. Can we please bump that boy by 5 mph? Follow distance 3 is fine for me, although I used to always be on 1 or 2. To which Elon said, production release update is coming this week, which includes raising the max speed to 80. Sorry, 75 was limit done as a precautionary measure. Turned out to be unnecessary. So this, of course, just the speed limit cap for full self-driving. Now, the cars that do still have radar, I believe the cap is currently 90 miles per hour. So now it's going to be these vision-only vehicles over the past few weeks that have a cap of 80 miles per hour. And then just a few hours later, someone posted on Reddit that 2021.4.18.10, which is presumed to be perhaps the update that Elon was actually referring to, got pushed out to this vehicle that restores emergency lane departure avoidance, which was disabled for a time. Smart Summon is back. There is that 80 mile per hour cap, which is why people think it's exactly what Elon was talking about. So it does look like this production update that Elon is referring to, not version 9, but a production update, is going live for some vehicles right now. So as you can see, Moneyball on Twitter shared some production figures for Tesla China in May. As you can see, 36,800 for the month, which is up 55% year over year and 20% month over month. And then he breaks it down further with the Model 3 and Model Y figures. But to give you guys a frame of reference here, first of all, I don't put a ton of weight in production just because Tesla could produce as many cars as they want, but it's all about how many they can sell. Now, yes, of course, to date, basically everything they're making, they are selling. But eventually, whether it's, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, that dynamic will change. So I like to focus on sales, but obviously production numbers are important too. But the main point here, if you take the annual run rate, which would be the 36,800 for this month, and multiply that by 12, that would give you about 443,000 for the year. And as of the end of Q1, Tesla's most recent data has, I believe, a 450,000 unit capacity out of Tesla Shanghai. So they're operating right there, pretty close to that 100% capacity mark, which is exactly where we would expect them to be. So Morgan Stanley shared a note with some thoughts on Tesla China. Ordinarily, I don't really dive into these because generally speaking, I don't care what these analysts are saying, to be quite frank. But now this one is actually some interesting reading, and we're going to go through it and I'll give you the main points. So number one, here we're going to talk a little bit about these anti-Tesla policy elements, what they mean, is it a big deal, where is this going to go moving forward? So we have seen the Chinese government prohibit government employees from buying a Tesla right now. China team says this has become a national government policy. Despite these restrictions, our team believes Chinese individuals still like Tesla and say the brand is still strong. But the team does acknowledge the potential for Tesla quality issues to be exaggerated in the media. Now, this is nothing new. This happens here in the United States as well. For example, if the driver of a car hits a policeman, the headline becomes Tesla hits a policeman rather than the driver itself, which same type of stuff happens here. But when our team speaks with the local Shanghai regulators about Tesla, the impression is they are still open to Tesla and still want Tesla to be in China. We would hope so. The Shanghai regulator says that Tesla has brought a lot of benefits to the country. Tesla brought EV awareness to consumers and accelerated the development of the EV supply chain in China. Yes, they absolutely did. So it's seen by the local regulator as bringing more benefits than not. But a key point here, they see Tesla becoming more of a threat to the local Chinese EVs. In their view, the Chinese auto policy will stay relatively accommodative to foreign players, and we don't believe the Chinese government is trying to wipe out foreign EV players. But in the near term, China may be trying to slow down Tesla China's expansion to some degree, but overall the country and government still wants the talent, patents, tech, and even foreign capital to support EV growth in the years ahead. And the third note here is a big point to watch in the months going forward. It has to do with data collection for the full self-driving and the cameras. Basically, China believes this is a national security issue, which is why Tesla is setting up those local data centers there in China, as China wants the data to stay there and not be transferred back to the United States. This key concern is used when enforcing laws preventing Tesla vehicles from being driven to any government office buildings, hence why government officials in China are not allowed to own a Tesla because of national security concerns. So honestly, I thought this was a pretty careful analysis of the situation in Tesla China. As you can see, it is not 100% full steam ahead, like the government only wants Tesla to crush it and grow as fast as possible. There are some limitations. There is a little bit of caution, especially when it comes to data gathering and the camera situation. And there is going to be some level of concern that Tesla eats up too much market share from these other local Chinese EV makers. So all threads we need to follow, but zooming out big picture, absolutely nothing to worry about. Everything is going just according to plan over in Tesla China, despite what you may read in the news and headlines about what's actually going on in China. And just a really quick note from Deutsche Bank, they are taking their 12% NEV, which includes hybrids and full BEVs, 12% now to be about 35% adoption by 2025. This would be for new car sales, so they are raising their forecast. And yes, this is specific for the Chinese market. So they see 35% of all new car sales being battery electric or hybrid by 2025 in the Chinese market. This little anecdote here is interesting. New homes in Tucson will now include EV charging ports after the city council and mayor passed an update to the building code last week. The mayor and council voted to require all newly constructed 1 and 2 family homes to include EV ports. And according to the code, it should be as universal as possible, meaning all EVs will be able to use the outlet. And that outlet is actually a 240 volt outlet. So they're not talking about like a specific type of charger. They're just talking about having a 208 volt or 240 volt dedicated single phase outlet at these new home construction sites. Now, personally, I think we should see building codes like this everywhere across the country. Hopefully that comes in time, but it's good to see nonetheless. And then we have Consumer Reports. Tesla Model 3 gets its top pick status from the IIHS back. Basically, it lost it for a few weeks when the new vision-only cars were shipped and they didn't have a few of the key safety features, but now through the software update, they have been added, they have been retested, and now Tesla has the label of a top safety pick back. And then last quick thing today, so Honda is basically with this one, in my eyes, admitting defeat, waving the white flag. This new joint venture between Honda and GM is supposed to be for a prologue, not until 2024. Basically, Honda's gonna design the car and GM's going to design the drivetrain and use their Ultium batteries. So Honda's not really doing anything other than just designing the car. And like I said, it's not supposed to come until 2024. If it comes at all, who knows? But this is just a very poor attempt by Honda to maintain any sort of relevance. I'm not sure what they think is going to happen with this, but could be the beginning of the end for Honda, but we'll see. But that's all for today. Please take a second to like the video if you did. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and a major thank you to everybody on the next screen.